My dear, fun, playful Leo rising folks, welcome here to Soul Passages Astrology. My name is George Dempsey. I am your astrologer, and we will be doing a general trends forecast for February 2016. Now, if you've got a big issue going in terms of something work-related or an issue brewing on the home front, and you feel like you'd like some information tailored to your specific natal chart, use the information at the front of the video and give me a call. I am going to be doing a special as I start up here, and it is going to be awesome, awesome, awesome. $50 for a 1-hour reading, and I will do that till March 1. So if you've got some big work issues happening or some kind of war maybe that's going on at home and you feel like you need a little advice, definitely give me a call. And right now I do sense that there is a lot of stuff happening on the home front for you. You've got Mars in Scorpio down there in your 4th house. She's sextiling Juno, which is all about contracts, feminine energy, childbirth, marriage. And so with that martial energy, there could be an urge to merge, or there could be a desire to cut the ties that bind with whatever contracts you've got going on in that 4th house. But I see the home front being one of the key factors in your life this month. You could be doing home renovations. The sawdust could be flying. You could be out looking for a piece of property that you can feel really proud of. Those are some of the types of energies that could be happening. You could also be in Mars and Scorpio using some psychological manipulations on people. I hope that's not the case, but that is definitely possible. With Mars sextiling Pluto in your 6th house of work, you could be, digging for secrets on coworkers, for example, or trying to figure out psychologically how people at work operate. You could be feeling a little bit of obsessive controlling feelings regarding work-related matters. And so if you're using that martial energy that way, stop. Honestly, just stop. Your 6th house is loaded right now. So this is the house of your everyday work schedules, your projects, your co-workers. It covers unions. It is also the mind, body, spirit house. So it covers health. And you've got some really big, powerful, heavy hitters up there right now. You've got the ass-kicking Pluto that we just mentioned. You've got Venus in there, so there's really strong desire nature going on and a lot of emotional intent with what is going on, and maybe some controlling issue and power issues or struggles going on. That's all possible. And you've got Mercury up there. And so a lot of information is coming in regarding work projects, possibly health projects. And you just need to be mindful of that right now. Pluto can work either way. It can work in your favor, depending how you use the energy, or it can work against you if you're not too aware of what's happening. But with Pluto in the 6th house, when it runs amok, it can make you kind of obsessed with work details, with work projects, with controlling schedules, with controlling other people, trying to get things that you want, especially with that psychological manipulation stuff going on. And when this happens, if you find yourself acting out in this way, I'll be honest with you, a lot of it is probably because you have forgotten who you are a little bit. If you are spending all of your time at work, if you become a workaholic, if you can't remember the last time it was that you had fun, you need to rethink things. You know, life is not all about work. And when we get to that point where we just do that for years and years and years, what Pluto in that sixth house can mean is basically you've got some kind of existential angst that, you know, if you quit working all these hours, would there be anything else in your life? Honestly, sometimes that's how it manifests for people. It's like you have nothing else, and so you fill your life with nothing but work. And, you know, it is great to be service-oriented and give to the world, but you need to have balance in your life right now. So that's my encouragement. Stop with the psychological manipulation, stop with the controlling energy at work, and work instead on your health. Work on your mind-body-spirit connection. And it's important because with Pluto there, you could have a transformative illness come along if you are not taking care of yourself. So it's really important for you to have that kind of balance right now. All right, another thing you could use this martial energy for in your fourth house, you could be digging into your psychological roots, your family patterns, how you were raised as a kid, and trying to understand all of that so that you can better understand yourself and your own patterning that you have as an adult. You could be, again, digging into what motivates those who are closest to you at home. You could be, you know, digging into family secrets. You could be trying to figure out your genealogy tree. These are all the sorts of things that are coming to the forefront. But with Mars in the fourth, often there tends to be some kind of war going on at home or psychologically. So you could be battling with yourself, recognizing that some of the behaviors that you're having or doing at work are not healthy or in your best interest as a soul. Okay, those are just a couple of the things. So work on figuring out who you are on an emotional level. That's a good way to harness this energy. And it is a good time for you to reach out to healthcare professionals. With Pluto and Venus and Mercury all in that sixth house, if you need help in unraveling some patterns or things that aren't working for you, there's a really good time for you to find the right person for you to do some internal healing. So that's a really good possibility right now. And healing is possible. February 3rd, you're going to have Mars trining Chiron in Pisces. And that Pisces energy is in the 8th house. And so that is a call for you to heal whatever is going on in regards to joint financing or transformative matters in the 8th house. So 8th house deals with life, birth, death, sex, taboos, things behind the veil, power struggles, and big cataclysmic divides that we go through in our life. So, you know, big, like if you have an illness, or it could be a birth of a child, or just one of those life-shaking events that we go through. Well, you have an opportunity right now, instead of having the war at home, is to work on how you are in the intimacy department with your significant other, and also to heal the issue of joint finances, and just to heal anything that you've got going on in that regard. It's also a call for you to accept yourself, your male energy, and being able to express yourself, but in a positive way. You know, Mars can get unbridled at times, and if you find that your anger issues, you've got some anger issues brewing and they're causing you trouble at work or in your closest partnerships, that's something that you want to look at and use that Chiron energy for healing right now. That's really important, and it can be very transformative for you to do so. Okay, on the 3rd, we also have the transiting Aquarian Sun, which will be in your 7th house, sextiling Saturn in Sagittarius. And so lately, you honestly, you may be obsessing about work so much. Maybe, dear Leo, you have forgotten to have fun in your life. You might be postponing romance. You might be postponing all the things that you get joy out of. And is that a good thing? For a warm, bright, brilliant Leo heart, I would say that's not. You can only put other matters on the back plate for so long. So this could be, your business partners reaching out to you and saying, hey, you need to go out and have some fun. Or when was the last time that you went on a date? Or when was it that you went out and did something good for yourself? And again, all of this supports you in a healthy path forward, not one where you're just completely engrossed in the work front. So, and right now with that Saturn, Sun speaking back and forth to each other, you could be learning some lessons in partnerships. The truth about love, the truth about romance, the fact that you do have to spend time at home and not put all of your eggs into one basket, so to speak. Okay, on February 5th, Mars is going to be having a difficult conversation called a quincunx with Uranus and Aries. And this could be shaking up your life path. Uranus wants to revolutionize things. It's a maverick planet. It wants you to think outside of the box. And if you got a war on at home, you might be headed down a different path in life. You might be headed your own direction. You might be changing the direction that you were once headed in or getting a desire to do so. And another thing that comes up with Uranus and Aries is maybe you're breaking with some family traditions regarding religion. And if so, it's okay. You're being asked to do that right now. You're being asked to examine what you believe in, to shake up what you believe in and find your own truth. So that's another thing. And that could be stirring the pot a little bit at home. You could also be running into some issues with other cultures. And I would just say, there's a need for us all to be really understanding in this world. We have so many different backgrounds here in the U.S. and all over the country, in other countries. And we need to develop a level of tolerance for different worldviews, different cultures, different ways of being. So that's your call regarding this tough conversation that's happening with Mars and Uranus. Okay, let's see. Venus. Yes, I mentioned Venus is going to be in that 6th house, conjunct Pluto and Mercury. And again, I see whatever's happening in that house of work. I see deep desires, deep emotions. Again, an energy of wanting to control things. Maybe being compulsive, obsessive over what is happening in the house of work. And emotions are just simply going to be running high. And again, it also is health matters, So again, needing to find that balance between work and life. And put life first if you can at all possible. Because I'd say lately you haven't been doing that. You do have the desire to attract what it is you want without doing all the crazy stuff, without doing the psychological manipulations. Just be a good person, put the good hard work out there, and let the chips fall where they lie. And quit obsessing over organizational structure and take care of yourself. That should be your mantra. Take care of yourself, heal yourself, and let the rest of it go. Now, Mercury, which is touring Capricorn, in that 6th house, will be trining Jupiter in Virgo. And this is now in your 2nd house of values. So you could be getting some information regarding work that is a boost to your salary. Or it could be a call from the universe saying, hey, look at what you already have. Don't you have enough? Feel good about what you have. And maybe by doing that, you recognize, hey, you don't have to have more. Maybe more is less is more. Less could be more, and allow you to appreciate your life a little bit more and have more time for the fun and the romance. I like the way that is playing out, because the second house is not just about money, but it's about appreciating the things that you have. It is also about developing your talents and skills and your own self-worth. And there is a call for you to do that right now, because you've got Chiron in the 8th house. So I get a sense of you're looking outward for validation for who you are. Like the more money you bring in from the company you work for, that makes you feel better about yourself. When in truth, you need to feel good about yourself for who you are. So value your own self and don't wait for somebody to put a price tag on your worth. What a terrible way to view yourself. Value your own self, your own skills, and develop your own sense of self-esteem. And you do these things and you will be able to stand on your own 2 feet, guaranteed. And it's developing that self-sufficiency right now is where you're having the greatest growth and luck and potential. Okay, let's see. Another way this could pan out with that Jupiter trine is, maybe you're doing some fundraising for a project at work. You're doing some service-oriented thing and money's coming in for that. That would be awesome. You do have the ability to achieve what it is that you want right now. Lucky Jupiter, even though that planet is in retrograde, does want to deliver things to you. So, another thing, since it's retrograde, you could be rethinking, what is it that I really value? And trust me, I have recently gone through this. And money is not one of the highest things on my list. Health, that's important. Having time with your partner, that's important. Again, appreciating yourself for who you are, that's important. So you can have some of this going on, thinking about what you really value while Jupiter is retrograde. This could also be a time to go over financial plans with a partner and make sure you have things squared up financially with whatever's going on for you. Now on February 6th, your Venus will be squaring up to Uranus in Aries. And so, a question I have is, are you being asked to do something at work that's against your morals? Or are you doing something at work that, you realize on a spiritual level isn't right? And this could be the case, if you're using that martial energy to dig up secrets about coworkers and stir the pot and trying to manipulate things. That's not a good way to go. So time to wake up and think about what we are putting out there. Sometimes there can be a fine line between what is right and wrong, but I think at our heart center, we do know what's a good thing to put out in the universe and what's not. Just saying. Okay, Mercury will be trining your North Node on the 6th, so I do get a sense of information coming through about work-related stuff. And whatever you conceive of or conceptualize at this time, you do have the power to manifest it and make it happen. And in fact, with Jupiter down there and the North Node, it could feel a bit like destiny. So, be mindful of what it is that you're seeking. All right. Another thing, too, is if you have really been working on your health, working on whole foods, natural foods, mind, body, spirit practices, it could be that you're valuing how you feel. You could be feeling like $1 million right now. So that's pretty awesome. Now the Sun, which is currently transiting Aquarius in your 7th house of partnerships, business partners, and long-term lovers, it is going to be squaring up to Mars on the 7th. This is not a good time to stir the pot at home, and it is not a good time to stir the pot with the people who are closest to you, unless you really need to do that. And if you do, well, just be careful of the ramifications of that. You know, it might be better to just take a chill pill, drink some hot tea and relax for the day, and use that warlike energy to plan ahead or think about how you could improve your partnerships over the next year. Okay, on the 7th, that Venus in Capricorn, again, 6th house matters, will be sextiling your Scorpio Mars. So you could be feverishly working at home on this day, doing home renovations, or if you've got a home business, you could just find yourself being super productive. That's how that could pan out. And the reason I like that relationship feeling is because on February 9th, we have a new moon in Aquarius, and it's happening in your relationship sector. So if you have not been planting good seeds lately for how you'd like things to pan out in terms of business partners or lovers, this is your opportunity to set the seeds for what you would like to manifest in the next year. And you have Pallas Athene up there by the luminaries, and she's encouraging you to bring out that sassy warrior-like woman and her independence and her creative ideas and her ability to rule over work projects. I mean, she's got ideas just springing out of her head. So how can you channel all of this and bring those things into fruition with good partnerships, both at work and with lovers? So that's what's up for you on the 9th. And it's always great to use that energy to set the seeds for the future. Now the 10th has a really golden feel to it to me. For everybody, for you Leos, Venus is going to be shooting a lovely beam of light right into that values and income sector. So if you're using your charm, grace, and charisma well, you could be drawing in what it is that you want in terms of projects and schedules and income. What an absolute awesome way to showcase your talents. All right, that's exciting. Now that's a good use of your energy there in that 6th house. Now on February 13th, Mars will be sextiling Jupiter. And I know Jupiter's retrograde, but you should be, again, just feeling like you're building on your values section. You know, maybe you're building your self-esteem. Maybe you're building up your self-worth and your confidence. Those are the things that are going to help drive your destiny, help you to get what it is you need to feel secure in the world. Now on February 22nd, we have a full Virgo moon, and it is going to be lighting up that values sector really well for you. So that's why what you value right now is really what's important. Emotions are likely to be coming to the forefront on this day, and something about what you value is going to be coming to a point of culmination. And so, you know, you need to make firm decisions on what is really important in your life. You know, if it is going after the job, okay. If it's developing yourself, going back to school or taking classes, that's great. Or maybe, you know, you need to take a hard look at your romance department and say, wow, I have just been spending way too much time at work, and my relationships and my kids are suffering. And maybe you decide that you need to reconsider what it is that you're valuing. Or again, I say just learning to appreciate what we have. That's huge with Jupiter in the 2nd. Being appreciative of what you already have. So that's a great way for that to pan itself out. Now, on February 23rd, the whole universe is being called to work on healing inner wounds. And that's because Jupiter will be opposing Chiron in Pisces. And for you, that's in that 8th house. So what are some of the wounds that you have? again, I come back to issues of self-esteem, issues of maybe you have that feeling that my worth is all about how much money I bring in. So if I'm not bringing in more money, I'm not valuable. And that's not a good way to gain your self-esteem. It's pretty much an empty thing, to be honest. And so healing that within yourself and knowing you're valuable for who you are as a person, as a spirit, and learning to put good energy out into the world and valuing yourself for that. So this is a time for you to work on healing spiritually and emotionally when it comes to other people's finances, joint finances with your partner, business finances, or if you've been feeling a lack, to take a serious look at what you really have. And if you did that, you probably recognize, wow, I already have so much more than I ever thought, and feeling good about that. And also, healing on an intimate level with a partner. Because it does seem like things have been kind of stirred up at home right now. And I see Saturn in that 5th house, and it's like a denial of fun. And, how long can you keep denying that, right? Before your poor Leo heart just says, So, anyhow, on February 25th, we have Mercury sextiling Saturn. So your mind should be feeling really focused right now. This is also a really good time to say what you mean and mean what you say. Your partners are counting on you to be truthful, and they want to know about your creative projects and what you're willing to put into the company. Information regarding lovers and children are coming to the forefront. And, what do you need to do to be true to yourself and to the people that you love? These are the issues that need to be spoken of. So I'm just going to say, in conclusion, I know family can push our buttons almost more than anybody else on planet Earth. You may also need to spend some time delving into some psychological roots you've got going on to figure out who you really are, and to change old scripts and old family patterns if you were brought up with some negative self-talk or feelings of a lack of self-worth that need to be healed. The universe really is calling for you to appreciate what you have and to value your own self without it being attached to money or what other people think. You need to value who you are. All right, my dear Leos, rising folks, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful February. Do take care of your health. Let the rest go. Peace and blessings. Namaste.